Hello and welcome to Crows Live. Thank you so much for joining us, whether you're in the room here or streaming from the website or on the app. It is so wonderful to have your company. Alongside me, I'm joined by former Crow Rhett Bigland. And Rhett, talk to me about that emphatic 60-point win from the Crows.
Can you believe we are top four? We are climbing up the ladder. What an emphatic performance. You mentioned that it was just not only from our strength point of view, but all over the field today. We didn't see the errors that we sometimes see. We just saw a polished performance. And let's face it, going into this game, so many Crows supporters had a little bit of something on their shoulder. We just might not get the job done against the Blues, but that is really professional. You must be proud.
Is it what you expected from the Crows tonight? There was a lot of talk about Carlton, but did you expect to see that kind of performance?
I think what we expected, particularly from our midfield, was that they were going to break even, but we dominated. And led by our captain with 3 goals, polished performance. Jake Saligo going head-to-head with Patrick Cripps, the Brownlow medalist, was instrumental. And speaking with so many Crows supporters here tonight, whilst they were nervous, they were so happy with what we put out for 4 quarters.
We are joined now from the rooms with Luke Nankervis. Luke, talk to me how the rooms are feeling in the morning. At the moment, it's got to be pretty happy.
Yeah, I think everyone's up and about, especially after the last week. We really wanted to bounce back, and we did that, and what an exciting win.
Defensively, you must be proud of the way the boys are gelling, because there were some twin towers up there which were concerning, but the matchups really worked well tonight. Yeah,
Josh Worrell, Jordan Butts had amazing games, getting those boys done. So was Mark Keane, and then our half-backers were just elite off there to be able to deliver it to the boys up forward. Big Riley Thilthorpe and the Texan, it was just elite. Everyone just gelling and clicking together.
Is that the best game you've seen Josh Worrell play, being so close to him?
His game last week was pretty good, but I think this tops it. He was just elite in the air, just coming off, reading it, marking it, and then using the ball well off the back of that.
Jordan Dawson tonight looked like he had a point to prove out there. How great was that to see from your captain?
Yeah, it's pretty good when he leads from the front, and 3 goals I think he kicked, and that's not what we value really, but it comes off the back of his ability to win the contest and do all the small things for the team. So yeah, it was very good to watch.
What about the insufficient intent rule? So many supporters are frustrated by it. As a player, do you sometimes question what is going on here?
Yeah, it's a tough. I'm not a fan of the rule personally, because sometimes it comes off a bit of a missed kick or something like that. So it's a little bit confusing at times, but yes, what can you do? It's the same rule for everyone else as well. So yeah.
Yeah, it's so frustrating from a supporter point of view, and as players, I know you just get on with the job. But what about Nixie's message? Of course, you were dominant and you were really controlling the footy. What was his message at half-time, particularly when there was a goal on half-time, which really lifted the spirits of the side?
His message was just to trust the process, keep doing what we're doing, and coming into that 3rd quarter, we just had to keep the pressure up and not take a step back, really, and I think the boys did that pretty well.
Talk to me about Smithy's mindset. How good Smithers back in, ripping form, taking marks, intercepting, running. He was back to his best. Been a long journey for Smithers.
Well, he's been well and above the sample level the past 2 months. Hasn't really put a foot wrong, and he just slid in beautifully. I think it's 250 plus games under his belt, so he's got that experience, and he was just huge for us offensively and defensively.
You had so many score involvements across your forward line today. How good was that to see? It wasn't just one person carrying the load. It's probably something you've seen a lot throughout the season, but it was really spread.
Yeah, I think that was one of the messages to get back to, was just giving those first gives, those first handballs, and then getting other boys involved. And I think the boys did that pretty well, and everyone shared a few goals and a few scoring involvements and got in on the fun.
So just going back to the defence, so when Curnow gets hot and Harry Mackay as well can light up the stage, is it a one-on-one role for the big Roosters down there that they have to go with them all game? Is that something that Nixie lines up and says, he's your man for the day, or do the boys rotate?
Well, I guess a few of the boys get that their certain roles that they'll be playing on Curnow or whoever. But I think a lot of it's a team thing. It's coming from the wingers and the forwards to be able to come back and help the defenders feel comfortable to come off an intercept, like Josh Worrell coming off and helping whoever's on Kerno to come over and take a mark or a kill spoil and stuff like that. So it's their individual role, but it's also a team thing as well.
And last couple of questions, one from me. You're okay, of course, no injury concerns at all?
Yeah, no injury concerns. It was just, they wanted a different look at stoppage. So, the messaging was clear there that they just wanted a different look, yeah.
And it puts you in a pretty good position heading into the showdown next week. We saw that Port suffered a very heavy loss. How are you feeling ahead of that one?
The showdown's always fun, and Port have been in some pretty good form. So, yeah, we're definitely excited for that one.
Thank you so much for joining us, Luke. Incredible talking about that showdown. I think people here will be very happy that Port did suffer such a big loss, but we know going into that it's a different beast, isn't it? What was it like in your time?
Without doubt, regardless of performance the week before and also your position on the ladder, it's a 50-50 game, and you almost sometimes want to go in with your backs against the wall in a showdown, particularly if you're undermanned or questioned within the media that your performance is not up to standard. So look, they're going to come out firing, Port, but I still think this game is another step for us to show to the league that we are the next level up. Top 4, we have the ability to have some polish now, we have some depth, we have a really good game plan, and I think our confidence is going to overcome Port next week.
Do you feel like top 4 is where the Crows can settle? Do you feel like they are a top 4 side?
Don't talk about top 4. We'll just sit at where we are at the moment, being a pessimistic Crows supporter. We'll sit where we are and we'll take it for now.
Beautiful. Well, we are now joined by Josh Rochelle. Josh, we've been speaking about how amazing that performance was. How happy were you to get on the end of a couple?
It was just so enjoyable. There were so many big moments throughout the game, and it was definitely, as I said, one of the most enjoyable games of the year. I think everyone just played their role nicely and executed the game plan perfectly.
Third quarter dominance, particularly through the mids. You get a look in there at times, but I thought Saligo on Cripps, what a learning experience for him. It was unbelievable to him to go head-to-head and beat him in the end.
Oh, it's just amazing. I think Jake's had such a terrific start to the season, and that just comes down to all his hard work he does. I see it firsthand living with him. And to go against one of the best midfielders in the comp, Cripps, a 2-time Brownlow medalist, I thought Jake was outstanding tonight.
Hey Rash, we've had some apologies from the AFL over the years for random umpiring decisions, but do you ever scratch your head at times to think what the hell is going on out there? But today there were a few head scratches.
Yeah, I probably don't want to get myself in trouble, so I won't comment on that.
The Carlton defence has really been a strength of theirs over the past few weeks when they've had some success, but today you kind of made them look a bit like amateurs. How did it feel out there?
Yeah, it was definitely something we scouted before the game. We knew that their two bigs, Kerno and Mackay, are definitely kickstarters of their offence. So we executed the game plan perfectly tonight to kind of stop their dominance. And I think we got full praise in all our key backs tonight, especially Josh Roll and Mark Keane, and even Butsy back in. I thought they played superbly.
Talk us through the progression of Dan Curtin. It's very similar to yours, high draft pick, a lot of expectations amongst the Crows supporter group about how well he will perform, wearing a very famous number. But today again, I think every week we see something better in him. Where does his ceiling sit and how good can he be?
I think he can be probably one of the best mids, forwards, whatever position it looks like in the future. But I think we tend to understand with the bigs, they take a few years. I think Phil Thorpe's a prime example. It took him a couple of years to get his body right, and now he's one of the best key forwards in the comp. So I think Dan has an outstanding ceiling that he can probably reach to. But it's great to see him have some great moments today when he's running and jumping at the ball. He looks unstoppable.
What about your role at hybrid, half forward, outstanding again today. But is that your call to when you can move anywhere around a stoppage, or does that come from Nixie in the box and VB, or can you basically run your own race?
Yeah, we've got set roles obviously throughout the whole game, but I thought today I had a bit more freedom. Started with VB early today, giving me the heads up to roll through the midfield. I think Zach and Taylor got a bit of a look too. We found that our mids were probably staying there a bit long the last couple of games and tiring out the last quarter. So I think that's why you saw Dorse and Ranks play a bit more in the forward line, and it just helped them go back into the midfield and have a bit more power. So it was great to be back in the midfield. I definitely would like to play a bit more down there in long term. I did a lot of the pre-season throughout the midfield this year, so I think it gives me full confidence when I go in there that I can make an impact.
Talking about that midfield, you were without Matt Crouch today. Guys had to find something different. It looked like he did have a lot of speed through there. Do you think that was part of why you guys outscored them so heavily?
Yeah, I think Rob was outstanding today, getting first hands on a great ruckman into Koning, and we knew that it was going to be a clearance battle. They're probably one of the best contested teams in the comp, but yeah, it was definitely unfortunate for Crouch. He having about a month off with his hip, because we do miss his hard and under stuff, but I thought all our mids definitely stepped up tonight.
Hey, what were the boys getting into Adam Sard? We saw Dorse shirt front him a couple of times. Is he getting on the lip, Sard?
Personally, I didn't hear anything from him. I think the big Texan just likes to get under the few of the boys' skin, and I thought it worked tonight.
Hey, are you going to bring out the teeth celebration again next week? We want to see it. You know we want to see it.
From past experience, definitely not. I've learnt my lesson from last year, so I'll be keeping it cool, calm and collected next week.
You stole my question. I wanted to ask that. But last one for me, Josh, how excited are you for this showdown? How does it feel coming in such good form off the back of this game?
Yeah, I'm super excited. We all know that the showdowns are the closest thing to the finals, and it's going to be a great game. Obviously with the Power, with a poor loss tonight, they're going to be firing next week, I'd assume, so I think it's going to be a great battle between both teams.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy the win.
Thanks, guys.
Well, you're right. Well done. It is one of the most iconic celebrations. When you think about showdown moments, and there are massive moments within a showdown, you think about the hit on Wakeland from Bix when he destroyed his jaw, Scotty Cummings and Rod Jamieson going punch for punch. So many iconic moments. That is one of them. It actually is one of them, and where you go to the crowd and point to the opposition crowd. So funny.
Now we are down into the rooms again. Just have to see who we've got joining us.
G'day, Homshi.
How are you?
Good to see you, mate.
Yeah, good. Thanks for having me on.
Brilliant. Talk to us how happy you are as a coach with that performance from your side. From where we were sitting, it looked amazing. Led the entire game. How happy were you with it?
Yeah, look, we're wrapped, obviously. It's a big result coming off of last week. Sorry, we just got the boys to turn the music up in here. They're getting around it. Yeah, no, great result. Obviously, Carlton are a pretty informed side of the competition, and we knew how important today was going to be for us, really. It's at a point, if we said all year, every game's really important, and you know, in front of a pretty strong home crowd, we wanted to rectify last week.
You've taken to this coaching caper pretty well, Jack. You haven't aged a day, and every time the camera pans up to you when watching Fox Footy or Channel 7, you don't look too stressed.
If I bend over, my head's pretty bald on top, so that'd suggest otherwise, but I appreciate the support, Biggles. Thank you.
Hey, one player who must make the coaching game a lot easier is the skipper. And so Dorse's role, how does he determine when he pushes forward or when he plays on ball or slips behind the footy? Is that his call?
Yeah, look, it's just playing the game on its merit and a little bit. Like, he's a really smart footballer, and sometimes as a smart player, you can track the ball and understand this is probably going to stay, you know, on the strong side of the ground, and there's an opportunity for him to shift back, as we say. So, to be honest, it's not something we coach him too much on. He finds moments where he can impact, and then obviously, you know, he spends a bit of time forward, and that's more of a structural role, but him getting back to support and defence is really important for us. If he can feel like he can impact, he goes, and we saw tonight, having him back there and how as a midfielder, an aerial threat he is, it certainly helps out my boys down there in the back line, and they love and appreciate his support coming back.
We know that you've got all the game plans and the technicalities, but one thing I found so impressive was the work rate from your side, especially through that midfield. Was that something you guys spoke about, or what were your thoughts on it?
Yeah, definitely. Like, we want to bring it every week, but we felt like it was something as a group we didn't bring strong enough last week against Fremantle. And you know, as a team, you've got to get back and support in numbers, and then you win the ball back, and it's a game of offence from there. So it's a two-pronged way. You get back to defend, and you can attack in offence. So it was a focus, and it's a focus every week. But the boys executed it really well tonight, and you know, it can't be underestimated how much having a really strong crowd does support, and the boys love playing in front of it.
As a coaching group, yourself, Godsey and VB and Baldy, how do you allow players to show their natural flair? When you've got stars like Rankin and Rash, Dawson, these guys just to let them play their natural game versus trying to instruct them too much. It's like a jockey on the favourite for a horse. He doesn't need too many instructions. How do you get that balance right?
Yeah, it is a balance, because that's what people want to come and see guys' natural talents come out and showcase. And I think as coaches, you've got to be really careful overcoaching that, and you can almost stunt the way that they play. So you sort of live and die by the sword a little bit. If you're a really talented player, which we've got a lot of in our team, you will back them in to make the decision. And you know, if they make 6 or 7 good ones and 3 wrong ones, we probably take the 7. So that's probably where we try and strike the balance. And as long as it's within our team structure, that's probably where we're coached. But you've got to let guys who are as talented as you mentioned, you've got to let them make decisions, because they're rapid fire decisions in game. It's almost muscle memory and ingrained in them. It is really hard to sort of stop them stop and think about what they're doing.
Talking about some of those stars, as a coach, who really impressed you tonight? Is it different to, I guess, what we as viewers kind of watch? Who really, really impressed you in the coach's box?
Oh, like there was a number of boys tonight, which was really pleasing. But obviously, from my end, I was really wrapped with Wayne Miller and Josh Worrell's game. You know, the backs unit as a whole group were really strong from the way we knew you had to stop, you know, Mackay and Curno's impact on the game. But from a forwards perspective, like Alex Neil-Bullen and Ben Keys, the way that they get back and support is really important. So the defensive running they do for us too. So really wrapped with the way, that's probably the one that you don't see too much at home, but the effort that those guys go to get back and support us is really important.
Hey, the game moves on pretty quick. Showdown next week. You've been involved in a lot of those. What have we learnt, Adelaide Footy Club, from the previous showdowns, either going in as favourite or probably emphasising the game itself? What's the plan? Yeah,
it's an interesting one, because I think showdowns really aren't dictated by form at all. We've seen a number of times over the years, and you know, like I've played for the other side in them as well, and you can come in sort of bottom or top of the ladder, and it's a really hard fought contest. So we'll try and not make too much of a deal out of it. We'll review the game, and obviously there is a heightened expectations of showdown. It's a big game, but we know how important next week is, just in terms of the 4 points. So we'll have a good look at Port, work out where we sort of see their game at, and then find an opportunity to see how we can bring a response like we did tonight.
Never tell a Crows supporter you played for the other mob, that's for sure. Honchi, keep that to yourself. But showdown is massive. The best week on the calendar. No injuries after today?
Not that I'm aware of, no. So we're just, obviously the boys are going through the physios now, but hopefully all clean bill of health, which is good news so far.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for joining us, Jack. I know we keep on talking about this showdown, but we saw that Port's performance was so poor today. Do you think that will be the hunger that they need to really come out and turn their season around again?
No, let's kick them while they're down. Let's kick them while they're down, because as much as they've got their backs against the wall, and there's a lot of pressure within that coaching group with another coach to step up, at the end of the day, it comes to class, and we've got an enormous amount of class out there. I think our next guest has got plenty of class too, Dan Curtin.
We're going to throw down now to Dan Curtin. Dan, incredible performance out there. How are you feeling after that?
I'm feeling really good. It's always good when you get the win. I mean, the room's just pretty exciting and everyone's in here celebrating us. So, yeah, it's a good feeling.
A few intercept marks and strong in the air today. What's been your key focus? I was just chatting with Woz about your performance. I think it's probably one of the better AFL games you've played. How do you feel?
Yeah, I think the thing for me is definitely just confidence and knowing that when I am up on that wing, I definitely have a good ability to jump in the air and get a few knees in there and take some good marks. So yeah, focus today was what we call win half, and just making sure I can get the ball to ground or take the ball myself.
Now, you know what it takes to be an elite midfielder in this competition. From a fitness point of view, where do you rate your engine at the moment? How far does it need to get to if we can see you in the centre circle more often?
Definitely think I've got a long way to go before I can probably get in there full time. And I mean, we've got a really good midfield at the moment that's gelling really well. So yeah, I'm really happy just chilling on the wing or in forward. I feel like my engine's ready for anything, and that's what pre-season's for, and worked really hard over the pre-season to get to where I am. So yeah, I feel like I'm ready for any role that gets chucked at me.
Who do you kind of look to model your game on, or who kind of inspires you, whether it's in your current group at the moment or in AFL as a whole?
I grew up watching, Fife, for example, in terms of his aggression at the footy. That's something that I really want to bring every game. But yeah, like I mean, more now, I'll look to people like Isaac Cumming, particularly playing wing, to lean on and learn little things off him the more I play. And yeah, up forward, like you got the Filthies, the Tex, the Fog that I look to, and then if I do play up a bit higher, I'll look to Rash or Keezy or Nibbler. Their work rate's unbelievable week in, week out. So yeah, I'll look to try and bring a bit of what they do into my game.
And that nervousness that you have going into a game at AFL level, you know, when you used to dominate the 18s, we all saw you have an unbelievable 18s year. Do you still have the nerves, or do you still feel as though you're trying to prove a point at the moment to how good you can be versus when you were dominating just playing footy? Where do you get to that next level of comfortable or feeling comfortable at AFL, you reckon?
I think it's always good to have nerves. I mean, that means you care and yeah, you really want to perform. And I think I'm always going to have nerves, but yeah, I think the more confidence I get, the more games I string together like this, the more confident I'm going to get, the more I'm going to keep flying for marks like this, and then yeah, I mean, it will just keep going up a level, and I'm yeah, really excited to keep stringing together a few of these games.
We're so proud because there's been a lot of expectations amongst you, not only from the number you wear, but also being a high draft pick. But from your work rate point of view, we can see it each week, and you're feeling stronger in your body. What sort of work did you do this off-season to get as fit as what you are now?
Yeah, I think in terms of, like, I'm the same weight as around what I would have been last year. But yeah, this year the difference is probably just being able to run around with it a lot better, like just kind of float over the grass instead of, yeah, trunking along, feet getting caught in the ground. Yeah, I mean, the pre-season probably just focused on my running. Came back to Adelaide a little bit earlier because, I mean, over in WA, it's all well and good to do the training by myself, but you never really know where you're at. So made sure I got back a little bit earlier and, yeah, hung out with the boys and, yeah, absolutely love this group. And especially all the young lads, like we all stick real close together. So yeah, I mean, just sticking together with them, and they got my back and I got theirs.
From where we were sitting, the ball movement looked so slick tonight, looked like it was moving so fast. How did it feel out there for you? Could you feel a big difference from last week?
Yeah, definitely. We played like us this week. I've hosted last week. I mean, sitting on the bench sometimes, or even when I'm out there, like string together a few handballs and get it inside 50 to potential score, like kind of look around, everyone's smiling, everyone's having fun. Yeah, it's a real enjoyable game tonight.
From an injury point of view, if a player was to get injured today, would they still, back in the day we used to sleep at the club, does that still happen? And who do you live with as well to make sure you look after your injuries?
Yeah, I'm not too sure if they sleep at the club. I mean, we have doctor checks pretty early in the morning, but yeah, I live with Zach Taylor, Hugh Bond, and Hugh's brother Jack Bond. Yeah, got a good setup there over in Henley at the moment. So yeah, I'm loving being close to the beach and yeah, just hanging out with those guys. It's always fun when you got 4 boys in the house. So.
Excellent. Thank you so much for joining us, Dan. Enjoy the win. You absolutely deserve it. Rhett, we've spoken about it. Showdown, top 4. After that, I know we're looking further ahead, the Magpies. It's setting up an incredible clash in 2 weeks' time. Do you think that this side currently where it's at, we've seen some wishy-washy performances, can they take it up to the number 1 side at the moment?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the naysayers always said that we had a soft draw, but I still think you have to beat who you've got. Of course, the Gold Coast were tough up there, and, well, we smashed the Giants, who are one of the premiership favourites. So the next 2 weeks, if we can, I mean, Port have been highly touted as well, and probably not playing at their best. But I still think we are probably running on 7 of our 8 cylinders. I think we've got another, to hit the V8s, we've got another level to go, so I'm confident.
Someone we didn't really speak about tonight, who you've got all the expertise, is Riley O'Brien. Better performance from him tonight. How did you rate it?
Oh, I thought really good. Yeah, I mean, now when we see players come into a side and just do their role, it's been a cliche of so many good coaches over the years. As you know, from a high-performance sport background, anyone who comes in plays their role. And I think week in, week out, doing his role, the critics will always come. The critics don't analyse what's happening around that particular side of the game, whether it be forwards, back or midfield, but without doubt, he is doing his role.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight, Red. Thank you so much to everyone here in the rooms, for you watching on the website, streaming on the app. We have loved your company. I think it's time to celebrate this emphatic Crows win. We'll see you in the next home game.
Don't forget you can join Brodie Smith, Ebony Marinoff and Mark Thomas every Sunday morning on Triple M from 9 a.m. You can also download the podcast on Listener.
Crows fans, get game day ready with the Adelaide Crows official home and clash kits on sale now. Don't miss out. Grab yours today and show your true colours. Available in-store and online at shop.afc.com.au.